Good morning, Lawrence here again from the Australian Trade and Logistics Corporation. Today I'm privileged to have Fatmah Ahmad, the Director of MIDA here in Sydney, Australia. Thank you, Fatmah, for joining us.
Thank you, Lawrence, for being here.
Great, thank you. So Fatmah, how do you best describe the main key services of MIDA?
The Malaysian Investment Development Authority, MIDA, is the principal investment promotion agency under the Ministry of International Trade and Industry Malaysia. MIDA is the first point of contact for investors who intend to set up projects in the manufacturing and services sectors in Malaysia. So to ensure that the services to our clients are comprehensive, senior representatives from key government agencies are stationed at MIDA's headquarters in Kuala Lumpur to provide advisory services to potential investors. MIDA handholds investors right from their initial inquiries until the realization of projects and continue to render support to investors beyond implementation stage. So MIDA has established a total of 20 offices worldwide, and the office here in Sydney, Australia is responsible to promote, attract and facilitate investors from Australia, New Zealand and Oceania countries who have the intention to explore business and investment opportunities in Malaysia.
So Fatmah, what would be a typical Australian business that MIDA works with?
All right. So Australian companies requiring MIDA's assistance would be from different level of readiness in terms of doing business with or in Malaysia. For example, from acquiring initial information about the cost of doing business, facilities and supports provided by the Malaysian government, policies and guidelines related to doing business in Malaysia, to those that are seeking or exploring potential partnerships and joint ventures with Malaysian companies. So for Australian companies which already have concrete plans about doing their projects in Malaysia, then MIDA Sydney office will coordinate with the headquarters, our regional offices as well as the relevant stakeholders in Malaysia to facilitate and support these companies' visit to Malaysia to obtain relevant information for them to make informed decision.
Great, fantastic. So Fatmah, how do you feel Australian companies are regarded in Malaysia?
Australia is one of Malaysia's important investors. Between 2008 to first half of 2018, approved investments in manufacturing sector alone from Australia are about US $4 billion and positioned as 7th largest investor.
Wow.
So besides manufacturing sector, Australian companies have strong presence in the various services sectors such as education, healthcare, construction and hospitality. Australian companies which are already in Malaysia are helping us to continue to generate Malaysian economy via job creation, providing linkages to the local companies, utilizing of our airports and seaports, especially for the export-driven companies, as well as usage of auxiliary services.
Are there specific industry sectors which are target or growth sectors for investment from Australia that MIDA is focusing on?
So MIDA adopts an ecosystem approach whereby concerted efforts are put in place to promote the entire value chain of industry clusters and enhance delivery enablers to support the value chain. The aim is to generate higher economic returns and growth for individuals and the country, creating a lasting impact on the economy, which would lead to a more attractive business environment. The new growth areas targeted for promotion includes aerospace, advanced electronics, advanced materials, fine chemicals, renewable energy, petrochemicals, pharmaceutical machinery and equipment, as well as medical devices or medical technologies, of which for some of these areas, Australia have many companies which could explore business and investment opportunities in Malaysia. So we believe that these industries are important in contributing to the greater growth of the manufacturing and services sectors in terms of higher value-added technology, export, knowledge content, spin-off effects, and the potential to be integrated regionally and locally.
Great. What are the service sector focuses for MIDA?
Other services which Malaysia is targeting from Australia include R&D, healthcare, education, areas in the space of technology, including Industry 4.0, green technology, logistics services, agribusiness and business professional services. Recently, Malaysia has announced a national policy on Industry 4.0, also known as Industry Forward, and the goals of Industry Forward are to advance the contribution of manufacturing sector to the economy, to increase the productivity and the number of high-skilled workers in the manufacturing sector, and to strengthen the country's innovation capacity and capability. I would like to emphasize that the Malaysian government continuously makes every effort to ensure the sustainability of the conducive and competitive business environment in the country. So Malaysia offers vast business opportunities for collaborations. Therefore, Australian companies are encouraged and welcome to utilize their experience and expertise to venture to Malaysia's shore for business opportunities in mutually beneficial partnerships.
Great. Fatmah, do you believe Australian companies are fully aware of all the opportunities with Malaysia?
Well, good question. Yes, some Australian companies are already familiar with Malaysia, and MIDA Sydney continues to engage many more companies to disseminate information about business and investment opportunities in Malaysia. So last year alone, MIDA Sydney engaged with hundreds of companies through promotional events and meetings. So MIDA Sydney will continue to do more engagement with Australian business community to promote and raise the profile of Malaysia. Australian companies are encouraged to utilize Malaysia as the gateway to the ASEAN region. As a small country in ASEAN, Malaysia has much potential to tap into the larger ASEAN market and assume a crucial role as part of the supply chain in the manufacturing and services sectors.
So with the Australian Trade Logistics Corporation, we'd love to be able to assist companies in bringing these opportunities to them. What steps would you recommend to these Australian businesses in order to find suitable business partners such as suppliers, service providers or even possible investors with Malaysia?
So MIDA welcomes Australian business community to explore eBiz Match platform, an online platform to connect businesses in Malaysia. Also, MIDA has recently launched an iServices portal, a business linkage platform to connect local service providers and their potential clients, which consists of both domestic and foreign companies. To learn more, visit www.mida.gov.my.
So Fatmah, what are your favourite things about Australia?
Okay, well, Australia is definitely a vibrant country with friendly people from diverse ethnicity, and every state and territory has its own uniqueness and value propositions.
And on a personal note, do you have an Australian sport, or what do you enjoy here in Australia?
Well, here in Australia, what I enjoy most is doing coastal walking.
Fantastic.
So I'm not sure if that is considered as sports.
Yeah, well, I'm not an official sport, but definitely very well enjoyed by a lot of Australians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful scenery.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
And finally, Fatmah, for Australian companies who wanted to find out more about MIDA and how you can help them grow their business in Malaysia, how should they get in contact with you?
Right. So, well, my advice is for Australian businesses and companies to reach out to MIDA Sydney for inquiry, and this office endeavours to extend its fullest support and facilitation to ensure potential investors' needs in doing business in Malaysia are met.
Fantastic. So finally, thank you, Fatmah, for taking the time to speak with me today and being a valued supporter of the Australian Trade and Logistics Corporation. We very much look forward to working with you on future initiatives such as trade investment missions and B2B matching between Australia and Malaysia in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.